Hello everybody, welcome back to Scrappy Adam and welcome to day 11 of Follow a Sketch February. That's right, we are on to February the 11th already. How has that happened? I do not know. But we are into the second third of Follow a Sketch February, and this is today's sketch. It is a lovely sketch from Sketchabilities, Karen Gerber, and this is the sketch. And as you can see, we are doing some haunted mansion photos. So we have got two photos here and some journaling. We've got this lovely number element here, which is like, it really drew my eye to that. I love that. Then we've also got lots of layered circles and banners and flags and title and lots going on down here. And I have definitely been inspired by this whole thing going on. So let's see what we can do. It is going to be a longer video today because we have got a cut file in here as well. So quick run through of what I have got. We have got pom-pom, sequins, dried flowers and stuff like that. We're going to add a lot of texture. We've got this webbing sort of fabric. Then what have we got? We have got this cut file, which I believe is Paige Evans, and it's lots of circles. We are going to back this, and we're also going to make a couple of shaker pockets. We have got some stickers. We've got foam boo, and then a couple of other stickers. We have got an acrylic piece, which is like a haunted pumpkin graveyard sort of scene. We have got lots of acrylic pieces and wood pieces, tickets and cameras and Mickey ears and arrows and all sorts of fun stuff. We've got some ephemera and stickers. So we've got some that say Haunted Mansion. Got some Mickey hands. We've got Magic Kingdom. Lots of little bits and bobs. So we'll see which of those we use. We have got three photos. We've got a couple of artwork. So we've got I Like My Mansions Haunted and My Tea a Bit Mad and Welcome Foolish Mortals. These were taken from within the Haunted Mansion, and I just love taking pictures of all the artwork in Disney. And then we've also got a ride photo of myself, Tom and Mick on the Haunted Mansion. So that is what we are documenting today. For our paper, we have got a big old mix going on. We've got Halloween Magic from Echo Park. This is Costume Party, and we're going to focus on the B side of it, which is the stars and moons. We have got Say Cheese Tomorrow at the Park from Simple Stories Out of This World, but I want this side. We have got an older paper from 7 Dots Studio, and it's the Paint Chips in Nightshade. This is a Polish company. I love this paper so much. It's an older paper, but we're going to use possibly a bit of both. Then we have got The Wildlife from Echo Park, an older collection from 2015, nearly 10 years. Wild Constellations. And then finally we've got Amy Tangerine, Brave and Bold Chill Out for this. So a good old mix of papers, a cut file. For our background, excuse me, I'm not sure what we're going to use. I need to make that decision, whether we go for a patterned background or not. And I think probably not for this. So I might just use a white background, and we'll use these papers for our layers, for matting and backing our cut file. So what we need to do is first off decide what we'd like to cut our back our cut file with. So I'm going to create a shaker pocket with you guys, and I'm going to back a couple of these, and then I will go off camera and finish them so that we're not here all day. So first off, what I thought I would do is show you how you could potentially use a punch to speedily back a cut file. This is only going to work for very, very few. because it's got to be a particular shape, size, etc. But if you've got, so this is a 2-inch punch, and some of these are going to fit. For example, this one, it fits perfectly. So we can just pop that there. So let me get some glue. I am using Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. It's generally what I always use. Put far too much there. There we go. It's a cracking glue. Then pop that on. Now you can see that the glue has overrun a little bit there. That's okay, it'll dry clear, I'm not worried. That is one of our circles backed already, nice and easy, all done. Excuse me. Then let's do another one. Let's take a bit off this paper, and I am going to use it for, let's see, which one can we fit it in? Now sometimes you're going to have it where it only just fits. So in that instance, you're probably not going to be able to use your punch because it is just a little bit too small. So what you can do then is you can either cheat, use a bit of sellotape, that's what I might do, or you can use it for a smaller piece and just cut around it. You've got the basic shape, so then just cut around it, which is what I will do now just to show you what I mean. So we're just going to make this circle smaller, and I am absolutely awful at cutting circles, I'm not going to lie. Like, that is my attempt at a circle, guys. You know, I show you it all here. But that backs that piece perfectly. So, and that's all that matters. You're not going to see the back. So it doesn't matter how bad it looks, because nobody apart from you guys and me know that that looks that bad. Pop that on, and there is another piece backed. Nice and easy. Done. You can also, of course, use a smaller punch. So this one is a 1.5-inch punch. So if I just take that and punch out a little bit there, then let's use it on this piece down here. You might also have dies, so you could use dies to punch it, or I will show you the other way, which is the pretty standard way of backing a cut file. The way that I've just done it, you're not going to be able to do in most cases, but I was just cheating for those ones. However, when you have got a cut file that comes back, the way that I do it anyway, and there will be various other ways of doing it. So we've got our cut file, we've got our sheet of paper. Turn over your sheet of paper, making a note of what part of the paper you want to use. So I want to use this bit. Turn over your cut file so that you've got it on like that. And then what I do is I draw around the cut file inside where you want to be backed. You can also draw around the outside and then cut a bit in on the line. However, this is the way I do it. So that is the shape that I want to back. However, we need to make that a little bit bigger just to account for the fact that we want it to overlap the circle. So all I do is I cut out this shape, but I make it a little bit bigger. So I just go over the line. Not much, it depends on the thickness of the cut file. Just cut it out, making sure that you go out of the shape. And then turn that over, and that will simply fit there. And again, just use a bit of glue to glue that down. Cut files are a great way of adding some interest and design to your page. They've definitely become a lot more popular even since I started scrapbooking, with the likes of Pear Tree, Paige Evans, Twilight and all of them. And it's great to see, actually. I do enjoy cut files. I'm a bit lazy. I am a lazy scrapbooker, so I don't use them much. Or if I do use them, then I try and use them where I don't have to back them. And you can still do that, like you could do mixed media behind it or something. But they definitely give a great design to your page. So the other thing I want to do before we continue with this is I don't want this cut file to be this size. And the reason for that is I want the cut file to go this way. And obviously that ain't going to happen because this cut file is designed to go diagonally on a 12-inch, so it's too big. So what we're going to do, excuse me, is we are going to cut off these three down here. Now I don't just want to cut them, I want it to look like it was intended to be the way that I make it. So what we might do is actually leave them on, but we're not going to back this one, and this one, and then we'll run it off. However, what you could do if you wanted to cut it beforehand is just cut around this shape and follow the line, and then it will look like it's always intended to be like that. However, you've just seen how badly I cut circles, so I'm not even attempting to do that. So I will simply not back those three, and then we will overhang the cut file on our page. So for a shaker pocket, let me do one of those with you. We're going to create a shaker pocket in these two, I think. So for our shaker pockets, I've gone ahead and backed the others. So the only two we've got left to do are the two shaker ones, because of course we're not doing those three. You will need some acetate. You can use plain acetate, or I have in the past used packaging if you don't have acetate. But for this, I'm going to use this acetate, which is, it's got some silver foil and some very faintly colour stars. It's Jen Hadfield Stardust. You need some foam tape, thicker the better. So you could use one that's reasonably thick, or you could use one that's a little bit thinner. I'm actually going to use this one because I want to cut it into thinner strips. You need to remember how thick your cut file is. The thinner your cut file, the harder it's going to be, but it's still possible. And then you need paper to back it as well, so we're going to use these two. So first things first, we're going to take our pattern paper and we are going to decide which part we want out. So I think, somewhat annoyingly, I want to use the middle part of this paper. That's okay because we still need to cut our banners and so forth. So we're going to probably cut about here. So let me just, you know, it's better to use the paper. Don't be afraid to cut into your paper, guys, because it needs using. Can't take it with us. So then we're just going to turn our paper, turn our cut file, and then draw around again. So you're going to create exactly like you would back a cut file, like so. So I'm just going to cut that. So we've still got quite a bit of this paper that we can use for our banners and formatting our photos. Then I'm going to cut around very badly this circle, which we're going to use to back our cut file once we have added the shaker elements. So same like that, repeat that for your other one. By the power of video, we have both of them done. So we've got this one, which has got a bit of white and then a bit of the purple and the blue, and then we've got this one as well. So I will probably place them sort of like this. So that will be our cut file, which I think is quite nice. Gives us a little bit of colour, not too much black, because a lot of our embellishments are black. Then what you're going to do is similar to what you've just done with the pattern paper. You need to cut your acetate. So I am just going to cut a square for there, and then we're going to cut another square for this one, like so. And then I'm just going to be lazy and cut around this, because I know that that is roughly, it's a bad circle, but I know it's going to fit the cut file. So let's just line that up, and we're just going to cut around. If you are looking for a professional way of backing your cut file tutorial, this probably isn't it. But this is the way I do it. It's real, it's no major editing, there's no fancy stuff going on. It's just me, you, having some happy scrappy time. At the end of the day, nothing fancy. We're not hiding anything, we're just keeping it a bit real, guys. So we're going to line that up as well, and if there is a way for me to make things a little bit easier for myself, or to make the process quicker, then I'm going to do it, even if it might not look pretty, or it looks a bit dodgy, or it looks like a child's done it. As long as the finished project looks alright, then I'm going to do it. I am going to take the easy way, because that means I can spend more time creating. So there is our circles, all done, ready and waiting. So that's step 1 and 2. Then what you need to do is apply your acetate to your cut file. So that is the first layer. Don't do what I nearly did, stick it to the wrong side. So in the same way that you would paper, if you're back in the cut file, add some glue. Let's do both of them at the same time. Let's try and be a bit efficient. There we go. Then we have got, just trying to work out which way this goes, that way. Acetate, oh, try and not put acetate. I'll give that a wipe before I stick it on. There we go. Although the Nuvo does dry clear, I don't want it going right across like that. Little wet wipe and we're all done. That is the one thing, if you're new here, I ain't one for editing out mistakes. I keep it real, it all stays in. That's the one thing that stopped me from doing videos for a long time, was the editing. So I made a pact with myself that I would always make videos as easy as I can, which is why the majority of my YouTube videos are real time like this. TikTok, which I've started now, is a little bit different. That is sometimes sped up or voiceovered, or it is stitched and put together sort of thing. So that is a bit different. So if you like your quick 2-3 minute videos, TikTok's the place to be, or YouTube Shorts. But in terms of videos, scrapbooking process videos, things like that, this is how we do it around here. So there is your backed cut file with our 2 acetate. Now you could leave it like that if you didn't want to create shaker pockets. You can always use your speciality papers to back a cut file, and it always creates a lovely, lovely effect, and it gives it a little bit of a different kind of vibe. However, we're creating shaker. So if I am having this like this, then might need to back this one actually. Just thinking, if I have the cut file sort of coming across like this, yeah, so I'll probably need to back that one as well. That's okay, it'll take me a minute in a minute. So the next thing that you want to do is turn your cut file over, get your foam tape, so I'm going to use this one, and you want to go round the cut file with your foam tape. Okay. Excuse me. So you basically want to cut your foam tape to, I always have a pair of scissors for foam tape because I hate it getting too sticky. So I always have a different pair of scissors that I exclusively use for foam tape. So you basically want to now go around your cut file with foam tape and create a little pocket, I guess, or a little well using the foam tape. So you need to go all the way around, repeating that. It's a little bit tricky, and as I said before, the thinner your cut file is, the harder this part is going to be, which is probably, you know, like I said before, I am a lazy scrapbooker, happy to admit it. Probably one of the reasons why I don't create cut file shakers much, because I'd love to do it in cut files that have got letters and words and all of that fun stuff, but it's just a little bit too fiddly for me sometimes. But if you're a patient kind of scrapper, then go for it, because the effect is incredible. Shannon does it quite a bit. There are other ways, maybe we'll do some videos on it. There are some creative ways of backing cut files with a shaker, and there is loads of videos on it, but yeah, I'll generally only create a shaker out of a cut file if it's an easy one to do. So we're going round, so I'm just going to keep going round the other half of that circle with the foam tape. So that is the foam tape done on both the circles. It doesn't look pretty, it's haphazard, but it's done. So for the first one, I've got some dried flowers that I thought would be fun to use. So I am going to add them to this one here. And we're just going to add a few bits into here. So you just basically want to fill out the little pocket that you've just created. Try and make sure that you don't get any stuck to the foam. If you're using sequins especially, you're probably going to find it a little bit hard, if I'm honest. Being honest, I always get a few bits stuck here and there like that. It's not the end of the world, just do your best. So we're just going to add a few of these dried flowers, which is a little bit different to the standard sequin shaker pocket. We like to be different, so we're just going to add them in there. That's probably about it for that one. Then all you want to do to finish off your shaker pocket is pop on your backing. So turn it around and stick it on top of the foam, like so. That's probably a little bit small, but it's okay because that'll help it stick. And then you're left with a little shaker pocket like that. So repeating that process, but with sequins, I am going to use some black and gold bats for this one, and we're just going to pop them in. It's personal choice as to how full you want it to be. I quite like my shaker pockets to be quite full. Some people are quite sparing. It all depends on how you fancy doing it. Again, pop down your backing piece of card and you're left with a shaker pocket. And that is our backed cut file for this layout, which will go on our layout like this. Now, in a couple of places, I've noticed that I can see foam tape sticking out of this side. So all I'm going to do is push that in. And then it's just a case of when you come to build the layout, like this bit here, I'm probably not going to be able to hide. But in all honesty, can you really see it majorly? It's just a little bit there. I will just strategically place an embellishment, and the same for that bit down there. As I said, there are various ways of doing it. This is just the way I do it. I'm not saying it's the right way, the best way, but it's the way that I do it. So now we can get on with putting this layout together. 25 minutes in, and we've not started the layout. Let's get cracking. So we're going for full on this layout. I'm going to do a little bit of mixed media in the background for the cut file to sit atop. So we're just going to kind of make a mess. Not really sure. Let's see how it goes. I've got Distress Oxide in Uncharted Mariner and Peacock Feathers. I have got Dina Wakley Gloss Spray in Marine and Night. Shimmers Vibes in Taupe of the Morning, grey, silver. And Heidi Swap Colour Shine in Navy. I kind of guessed that they kind of all go with these colours. Might see if we've got a purple, but I don't think I have. So I've also got a bit of packaging. We're just going to do a bit of packaging technique. That's as far as my ability goes. So let's get some of this colour on the page. I do not have purple, but I do have Eggplant, which is purple, but it's not the deep purple that I would have liked, which is fine. We'll just work with what we've got. So I'm just going to put some Uncharted Mariner onto this packaging, like so, quite a bit. Spray a little bit of water on there and use a brush to sort of mix it in a little bit. Like I say, I am no mixed media pro, and I do not attest to be. Just like that, that will do. No point in wasting that. Let's get that on the page. Try and put that somewhere that's not going to cover everything with painty ink. And then we're just going to come down like this and do the whole packaging technique, which I think is probably the easiest mixed media you could ever do. Don't know what you guys think, but if I can do it, you can do it. So that's it, and I'm going to do the same with Peacock Feathers. So let's get a bit of this on this packaging. And it's just old packaging that I'm using, it's nothing special. Cellophane bag, whatever you've got will work absolutely fine. Same paintbrush going in. Again, let's not waste it. Like so. And then same thing. We're just going to come down randomly. I'm coming up here so that we've got a bit of mixed media over around our photo. And that is it. That's the extent of my mixed media ability. It's all you're getting. Then what we're going to do is add quite a few splatters. So we've got some Heidi Swap Colour Shine in Navy, which is the closest I've got to black. I don't have a black spray. Don't know if Dina Wakley has done a black spray and I've just not got it, or whether there isn't one. Maybe I shall have to have a look at that. So we've got some navy going in. Let's add a bit of Dina Wakley Marine. Paper is warping slightly because there is now quite a bit of liquid on here. And this isn't special paper. It is just rock standard Craft UK. Then we've got shimmers, which I believe you should roll, not shake, whereas the other ones you should shake. I don't know if that's right. I just saw that somewhere and that's what I've always done. And then let's finish this off with a bit of eggplant. The purple, it's not a purple, it's a purple. It is actually very much a purple. It's just the wrong purple, if that makes sense. in comparison to what I actually wanted to match the photo. But it works, and that's all that matters. So let's leave that to dry, and then we can finally build this layout. Okay guys, let's get this layout wrapped up. Half an hour and we've not done the layout. But as much as I have been focusing on trying to do shorter videos, I wanted to keep the whole process into this video. And I get that a lot of people, most people, will not watch the whole video, and that's okay. But even if it is something useful for one person, then that is okay with me. I don't do YouTube for numbers. I'm not looking at all the stats. I don't. That's not what it's about for me, especially these days. It's about me enjoying the process and sharing that with you guys, and I wanted to share the whole process with you. So that is why I have stuck with it, and we have continued on. So I am using that full sheet of the wildlife paper to back this layout. It felt like it was missing something, so I just cut 1/2 inch off 2 sides, which gives us a 1/4 of an inch border all the way around. You can see that all of our mixed media has now dried, so we can get cracking with putting this layout together. So it's going to go this way. Now you will notice that some of these words are therefore at a different angle, upside down, whatever. You can't tell what it says. That's fine with me. It's not the end of the world. And then what we're going to do is we are going to position this cut file somewhere like this. So I'm going to place some adhesive on here, which are of course our 2 shaker pockets. I am then going to get our foam tape that we used for them, and we're going to add in some foam tape on the other pieces so that everything is at the correct level. So I'm just going to add 1 to each circle. So now that cut file is all level, I have ensured to place the foam on these 2 right at the edge, left edge, so that when I place it down on here, I know it's not going to come off the page. So that is then going to get placed down here. That is our cut file. Then what I'm going to do is use my trimmer, which I will bring into camera for this. So we're doing the whole process, so we might as well do the actual whole process. Line it up with 12 and trim all along there. Get rid of that scraggly bit. There's a few scraggly bits, but that's okay. Pop that back over there, and let's get rid of this. So that is what we're left with, and the cut file is going off the page. We've got rid of that whole circle, and that is what we're left with, guys, which I love. So now what I want to do is use some of these pieces and create a little banner. So to do that, I am just going to fold these strips, cut a piece at an angle, then we have our banner, and I'm just going to overlap a load of them along here and just cut where I think we need to. So you can see it's quite rough and ready, like so. I really like that element of the sketch, so I wanted to be sure to include it on this page, like so. I'm going to tear that one just because I'm lazy, really, and I don't mind if parts of the ends are showing, so I'm just going to keep doing that and add them all in there. So there is all of our flag banners just down here, and then I've just curled up the edges just to give us a lot more texture and dimension. I'm loving the mixed media popping through, and what I've done here is cut 3 strips of the pom-pom, and we are going to apply them up here as a little element, if you like, and a bit more texture. So I'm just going to apply that with some Nuvo. So we've got some orange, then we've got a little bit of purple. I am putting quite a bit of Nuvo just to make sure it all sticks really. There we go, and as I said before, it will dry, so that's okay. So adding quite a bit of Nuvo in there for our pom-pom trim. Lots of little details to this layout, lots going on, quite a distressed sort of vibe going on, and I'm liking it. I am liking it. So there is that up there, and there is our flag banners. You will also see to my left that we have some of this netting. I'm actually going to back my photo with this. A little bit different, a little bit quirky. So I have already cut a strip off, and now I'm just measuring for that way. So what I thought would be quite fun is to add a bit of this at the top here for our photo to sit in. Now I think I am going to actually have our photo there. So what we will do is add some adhesive to the back of this and get this stuck on. That is obviously not going to hold it on its own. So what we'll do is add a bit of fun foam to the top part, which is then going to stick it, and then we'll just add extra adhesive to the bottom for it to stick atop of the cut file. So we're then left with something like that, and I'm just going to make sure that that is lined up. Pop this all down. And that is what we are left with. So it's not very clear on camera, but it's very much visible in real life, and that's all that matters. It just gives it something a little bit different, I feel. We're doing the same with this 4x4 photo, which is going to overlap here. And it's going to go approximately like so. So we've covered some of the cut file, but I feel like it's fine. It's not detracted from it. And we've stuck quite close to the sketch. I'm not going to use this photo, however. That will wait for another layout. I did bring in this as an extra little something. It's the Halloween die cuts from Elle Studio, which you can find at ellestudio.com. Loads of awesome stuff there. I am a huge fan of Elle's Studio, which I always used to call Ellie's Studio, but that it is not. I haven't actually been through it, so I don't know if anything's going to work, but you never know. We'll see. But let's see what we've actually pulled in for this layout first. Now, I already know I'm not going to use all of these, and that's okay. That is a-okay. So, I'm not going to use that. I think we will use a couple of these, and we're going to tuck these in. So, along the premise of like a hidden Mickey, we're going to have a hidden Mickey hand. For no other reason than it's a bit of fun. Don't like that. I don't like that, so I'm not doing it. But I do quite like the idea of that sticking out there, so let's do that. Now these I bought in Disney. I'm not going to use them all. I am going to use the Haunted Mansion one for obvious reasons, and this one, but not those three. So they will go in my embellishment drawer, or my leftover embellishment drawer from page kits for creating more page kits, because I have a lot more page kits to create, because I have a plan of continuing our sketchy fun for quite a long more while after Follow a Sketch February and 30 Days of Sketches. So we've got that going on up there. It's a little bit wonky. I'm not even going to attempt to take it off, guys. It's just staying wonky. and I'm not going to apologise for that. And then this Haunted Mansion square I am going to put down here, like so. They are clear stickers, which I hadn't realised, but that's okay, that's not a problem. We do still have this acrylic piece, which I'm thinking might work here if I pop something in here. So let's see what embellishments we've got in this L Studio pack. Stars. We've got plenty of stars. So let's add in a couple of stars and get this stuck down. Then it's just a case of finishing off, really. I have got a couple of flare from the space set, which I am going to add in and around the layout. They don't have anything to do with the photo directly, as in it's not a haunted house or whatever, but I feel like it works with the theme, so we're using it. I am going to add a couple of bats just because spooky, you know, kind of fits the theme. These are from the L's Studio die set. So I'm going to cover some of our sticker there, and we're just going to add them in at the top, like so. Just going to attempt to move this big one up slightly. I don't really want them touching. So there is all of that. Now, I did notice on the sketch that there was some labels that were sort of layered in and amongst all the circles, and I really liked that idea. So I have got a couple of labels out of the L's Studio ephemera pack, and I'm going to add them. So I've basically got two labels. I've got another couple, but we're not going to use them. And then two labels, orange and turquoisey aqua teal, whatever you want to call it. And then a couple of word ones as well, a bunch of Hocus Pocus and Haunted House. So this layout is very busy, there's a lot going on, but I have to say I really like it. It's not going to be for everybody, and that's fine, but I like it. I'm going to add a couple of these puffy stickers just in and amongst our pieces there. I'm not going to add much more though, to be honest, just because I don't feel like we need it. Let's add one Mickey ears. This is acrylic, so I am just peeling off the protective layer from the back. I definitely pulled in too much for this one, so they're going to go into a new kit without a doubt. And I'm going to pop this Mickey head just there. We have got a wooden arrow. I'm going to place that there. I just want to get all the different textures in on this layout and get all the different elements going in. There we go. And I think that's probably going to do it, I think. So that is this layout, and we've created our shaker pocket with these dried flowers and sequins. It shakes a lot more in real life. We've got all these awesome banner flags going. We've got our cut file, we've got our mixed media, we've got pom-pom trim, we've got wood, we've got acrylic, we've got a flare. So much going on. Super busy layout. But I think I like it. I think I like it. Let me know what you think in the description box down below. And of course we will be back tomorrow for day 12. And then we've cleared another page in the PDF and we can move on to the next page. Super exciting, going so quick, cannot wait. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.